Greenacre. Here he comes, he's gonna take it, he's gonna take it. And we're away! Morning troops, another day, another lake. This is our first carp session of spring. So, and on a new venue, Greenacre Lakes in Stickney. I'm going to, I want it somewhere local, somewhere you can blow the cobwebs off. Never fished here before, Specimen Lake. You can book it on Swim Booker. I'll leave the description for Swim Booker down below. And it's a small, intimate lake, central island. Only 4 anglers allowed on it at a time, so should be pretty undisturbed. There's another guy on the opposite bank. I have set up 2 rods at the island, 1 margin. I run through my reasoning for A, the position I'm fishing in, B, why I've chosen those rods to go where they are. It's going to be a cold easterly wind today, so my reasoning is I'm fishing facing the wind, but the lee side of the island is sheltered from that cold wind, so I've got 2 rods positioned there. My normal CC Moore Pacific tuna on one and CC Moore live system on the other. IQD rigs, both of them, critically balanced hook baits. And on the margin rod, there are no bait restrictions here. On the margin rod, again I've got another inline lead system, but this time I'm fishing with maize. And the reasoning for that is, I would imagine, because it's got central island, everyone fishes the island. So I thought I'd sneak a cunning rod down my right hand margin, see what's about. It's quite a small lake, so I haven't been thumping the lead around, plumbing it, etc. I've picked my swims, picked my spots, put a little bit of bait out, not a lot. It's spring after all. You don't want to put too much in, you can't take it out, the old saying. So I've got that easterly wind coming into me, which I don't mind. Just had a liner on my left hand rod. And we're going to hopefully have ourselves a few for a spring carp. I'll show you around the fishery in the lake in a little bit. Been here about an hour and a half, got all 3 rods out. Now I'm going to have a cup of coffee. Hopefully, it won't be too long before we see a bit of action. I mean, obviously when you arrive, and there's no sign of fish on the surface at the time you arrive, you've got to see what's going on. So I've put a little bit of bait in, not a lot, and what I have put in is just mixed pellet and mixed particles all mixed together. So I've got very small morsels out there. Each rig has got a PVA mesh bag on it for that extra little attraction around the hook bait, and it's a 16mm bottom bait topped off with a matching pop-up. But obviously I've just chopped the pop-up in half. they're 10mm pop-ups. I chop them in half and they are perfect just to make that hook bait sit above the hook. So let's see how we get on. Let's have a look around this little fishery, shall we? This is the lake and the fishing rules. There's also a course lake over to your left hand side. There's accommodation available. You can hire a cabin out. I'll leave the link to their website and their booking details in the video, but as you can see, it's a lovely lodge. As I say, there's the rules. Just pause it, you can read the rules at your leisure. Contact number. Got pitches for caravans, toilets, showers, excellent condition, excellent facilities. As you can see, you know, it's pristine. But most importantly, let's get over to this. Look at that. You know, you've got little setups for you can have a bit of a social, bit of a picnic, bit of a barbie. Most important thing though is the lake, isn't it? As always is the fishing with us, but fishing for pleasure. And this is the Specimen Lake. As you can see, Central Island, intimate little lake, about 1.5 acres, 5 foot deep, 5 foot to 6 foot deep in places. You've also got a course lake, as I said, down on the other side. You've got 2 car parks, another portable toilet over the other side of that far bank. But we're on the Specimen Lake, we're in hunting for carp. Let's crash on and get some carp. The rest of the day was spent hard at work. Precision casting. You know, you've got to get your casting right and get it on your spot every go. And of course, you've also got to get your baiting right. So I was feeding carefully, trying to get some attraction around those hook baits. Catapults by hand, any which way that gets the bait out to the desired spot with accuracy. Well, troops, we've been very quiet, haven't I? I haven't been chewing your ears off all day. It's been enjoyable, but we ain't had nothing. We've had a couple of liners on the left hand rod, a liner on the middle rod, and that's it. It's there's only 2 of us on the lake and neither of us are caught today. So I've just had my dinner. There's no point me showing you the winning rig or this or that, because there ain't been no winning rigs. So I'm going to put a bit of bait out. I've been very light with the bait because it's spring. They're not feeding at the moment, or they are. They're not feeding on what I'm offering, so I'm going to put a bit of bait out, catapult some freebies out, and then hopefully instigate some feeding during the evening and the night. But at the moment it's been enjoyable, but in no cigar. You know, we ain't had nothing yet. It is, as I say, it is spring. Don't want to go gung-ho with the bait, so I don't want to put too much in, but at the same time, they're feeding, they're going to have it, aren't they? So we'll crack on and then we'll see if we can catch some fish. And the rest of the evening, that Baltic wind eased off a little bit, but it was still there, constantly blowing, constantly cold. And no fish showed. Bright and early that morning I was up 4:30 on them rods. Fresh baits, back on the spots. But you can see the ripple on the water. That Baltic wind was still blowing hard, still very, very cold wind. Would that rising sun bring a rise and a change in fortune? Well, good morning, troops. That is the first noise I've heard in about 12 hours just then. It's not been a great night, not been a great day yesterday, but it is spring. You've got to expect to work at your fishing a bit. You know, they can get their heads down and feed this time of year. And other times, weather dependent, they could be slow on the old uptake, and at the moment I think it's the latter. You know, I've seen a few, the only fish I've seen showing are the top right end of the lake, which is too close to the guy on the other side of the island. You know, bit of bank etiquette, I don't want to get too close to someone. And this right hand bay that I'm fishing, so I had a rod in that right hand bay all night, nothing. So, you know, the traps are set. I've just got to hope there's some fish around that are feeding. If I see them showing, I won't hesitate in moving. You know, I mean, if it's feasible to move, I'll just wrap everything up and get round there. But at the moment it's a case of, I was up at 4:30, I was on the water, scoping the water at 4:30, repositioned the rigs, all with fresh baits, 5 o'clock. It's quickly approaching 8 o'clock now, so I mean, you would expect if there's fish down there, get with their heads down feeding, you would get a run first light. But at the moment, it's a bit of a struggle. So it's one of those things, you know, you come to a new water, you know, I have utmost confidence in my baits, I have utmost confidence in my rigs. But are they conducive to fishing this water? You know, the going bait could be something else or a different colour. It could be they could be pop-ups where I fish mine critically balanced little snowmen rigs. But you know, it's subtle differences you've got to work out on a new venue. You can't just turn up everywhere you want and empty the place out. Sometimes it takes a bit of time. As I say, I'm confident in my bait, I'm confident in my rigs. It's just whether I've got the baiting application and the position of those rigs right for this venue. And you can only find that out by experience, by getting your hands dirty and fishing. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to plug on, we're going to carry on fishing. Hopefully we'll bring you some action today, because I've seen pictures of the fish in here and some glorious fish in here. So we'll endeavour to get some on the bank to show you. Once again, precision casting was called for. Got to get those spots bang on. That wind, that Baltic wind I keep talking about, that's my main excuse, is it? But I was presenting a bait into that bay because that wind was blowing in there the whole time I was there. And fish did show the first day there, so, and it was one of the only places they showed. So I kept that bay alive. But once again, day drew out to evening and the time got away from me, and all of a sudden it is dark. Don't do too many of these sitting in the bivvy type videos, but monologues, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's been a tough old trip, really. We're on 36 hours. Not a touch. You know, it's been hard graft. It's enjoyable, but hard graft. But you got to get your carper's head on a little bit. There's no fish real showing, really. I've had a couple of fish show. I've cast at them, but it hasn't brought any joy. One more night to go. 12 hours left. Just got the fresh baits on the baited spots. My traps are set. My rigs are good. My bait is good. Just hoping the final night brings some results for us. It's a nice intimate little lake. It's there's a gale blowing, real strong easterly wind, and it's making the bobbins move a little bit. What I shall do is I shall reset the sensitivity for them during the night. I don't want them beeping every time a gust of wind hits them, so that's the state of play at the moment. You know, I will be back. It's a lovely little lake. There's some fish in here I've seen photos of, and have never come out, been stocked, you know, 5 years ago, not come out. So don't give themselves up, obviously, easily. But you know, there's a few big doubles in here, some big 20s in here. I say some fish that have never come out, so I've got to keep plugging away. Got the baits in, and hopefully tonight I'll be see the wind. Hopefully tonight will be a bit productive. I say them baits are on the baited spots now. I'm just going to sit and wait and hope tonight brings some action. Hold tight, troops. You ready for a roller coaster ride? Well, the night was uneventful. It really was. And I woke up to another glorious morning. I was on them rods early. Had to be off the water by 7. Scanning that water. I didn't want to disturb the baits and the traps too much. And I was observing that water. Were there any fish showing? There weren't. Time to pack up the old bivvy. You know, we worked hard on this water this last 48 hours. We didn't get the result we wanted, but I could see the potential. I really enjoyed it. Well, we've done that 48 hours, and as you can see, I've got 2 rods to back up. It's not been an electrifying video by any stretch of the imagination, but the fishery, I really like the fishery. The lake is good. It doesn't give up its residents easy. Well, that's not a problem. You know what I mean? I don't like those fisher chuck mud puddles. This is far from that. It's a well run, pristine fishery. A really lovely, intimate little lake. It only has 4 anglers on it at a time, or exclusive lake bookings. I'll leave the description below. And well, we have made it pay, but put hours in on the water, you learn different tactics, different methods, different patrol routes, where the fish are feeding, where they don't feed. So, you know, this is only the first visit, so it's some nice fish in here. I'll show you. Nice fish in here, so we've got to really try and crack this nut. That's what you know, that's what you got to do in fishing, haven't you? You got, you know, you go to the water and you've got to work it out, and you know, you've got to put the work in, and then you'll get the rewards. Sometimes you get them. Look, I don't know if you can see the sunshine rise is coming up. Sometimes you don't always get your rewards. I always say that, you know, you might not get them on that session, but you might get them on your next session or 2 or 3 sessions down the road. But if you put the effort in and the hard work in, you'll get a fish. So let's crack on. Let's pack this gear up, get off home, do some DIY, get some brownie points so I can go out again. Now look at that. The sun's coming up on another adventure. We're fishing for pleasure. We'll endeavour to bring you some fish next time, troops. As always, if I've got a video coming out every Monday 6 o'clock, I'll see you then. Take care and tight lines. Once again, thanks for watching, troops. I really do appreciate all the comments, the likes, the shares, the interaction. Look at that sun coming up. Let's get these rods away. Tight lines, troops. See you on the bank real soon.